guys, what is up? RedMaster here, and welcome back to another video. Today we are going to go over a new June season balance pass that just launched merely a few minutes ago. Now, there has been some interesting things going around with this, along with the matchmaking update that I might cover in a separate video. I mean, don't get me wrong, the matchmaking update was a big sort of deal. With players being divided into separate skill territories, marking, I mean, I wouldn't call it, pretty much it's a simple, well, what I think it is a simple kind of win-loss ratio that determines your skill, and you're going to be based or versing players of the same skill. So I think that's a bit interesting in terms of matchmaking. That's something that, of course, hit while I was on Memorial Day vacation, hence why I haven't been making videos for you guys. I apologize for that. But anyway, matchmaking update looking good. I played a bit of it over vacation. Unfortunately, I did not break 3,000 stars this season. I want to try and make that a goal with a new edited deck. I mean, I'm running the same stealth focus deck that I've shown you guys previously, but of course it's gotten some edits and some feedback from a lot of the community, so hopefully we can break 3,000 with this improved deck. But what I want to talk to you today, or what I want to talk to you about today, is all the updates that have just hit in June. So June's going to look like it's going to be looking like an interesting month and a lot of month for change. The big thing to note is the sudden death damage reduction. The damage check from sudden death has been reduced from 2 to 1. Very interesting. We will no longer see those 2 to 1 ties from sudden death, if you will, where you, of course, the person who has the most health wins. You'll either see a win from one side or a draw. So no sort of like shenanigans of a 2-1 win. That's pretty good. But definitely, it's going to make you think about how much damage you want to do in a turn. With sudden death no longer backing you up with the additional 2 damage every turn, we won't be seeing any more of those bastard Fenrir plays in sudden death where you go from you have 7 health, Fenrir comes in, smacks you for 5, and you lose from sudden death. No more of that bullshit. But yeah, I mean, not much to really go on here until we see it in action. I'll probably be doing a Ranked with Red video right after this, just so I can experiment with some of the changes, the sudden death and whatnot. But it's going to be interesting to see how that really takes effect on a lot of the players, because sudden death was a big damage dealer. Sometimes you had long, drawn-out games surviving all the way up until like 27, 28 turns of gameplay, and those 8 turns were kind of devoted to sudden death damage. No other damage is really being done. But anyway, moving on now. A lot of the following actually changes. The next 4 have been derived. Actually, 1, 2, 3, 5. I'm sorry, 5. The next 5 changes have actually been derived for range units. So it's going to be interesting to see how range gets pushed as the next sort of possible deck to run, in my opinion. We got, well, first of all, let's start off what we got here. First, we got off Wizard. The range is increased to 3, and the proc reduced to 1. Stat changed from 2 to 1. So, for any of you guys who don't know, proc kind of means it's the damage, the initiative damage that Wizard pops out. When he pops out, you're dealing 1 damage now instead of 2. But interesting. So its range is increased to 3. Almost, I think that's gotta be as much as the Sea Witch, right? Let me just check that out before I proceed to babble on. Sea Witch. Yeah, so that's about that's the range of Sea Witch right there. 2-1. So of course it's gonna be it's more easily killable, which is all right if you're giving it a range of 3. And the proc reduced to 1. That's okay. I think what made Wizard powerful was the fact that you're dealing 2 damage, but now having it reduced to 1, I don't know if that will change perspective on Wizard, if people may want to switch it out, or keep it in there because of the increased range, so we'll see. Next we got Karasume. Of course, Karasume was a card that, you know, not a lot of people looked at because of the ability as a whole. We know the ability bounce back a random unit, but that could have been an enemy unit or your own, so really taking a risk there if you're using Karasume. But now her attack is increased to 2 rather than 1, and she's keeping that health set at 3. So you may see more interest in Karasume, possibly. With the new range, like the whole idea of bringing range into the spotlight, if that's going to become a thing, people may want to start experimenting with cards like Karasume, you know, to bounce back things like Maddie, Assassin, Sunflower, all the cards that are being heavily used. You know, having their abilities that are used and being able to bring that back and reuse it with Karasume. You just might see more of her in action. But again, time will tell. Next we're going on to Troll Gunner. Stats reduced. Actually, well, these two can actually be grouped into one. Both the Troll Gunner and Mage Apprentice have had their stats changed to 2-1. Troll Gunner going from a 1-2 to a 2-1, and Mage Apprentice going from a 1-3 to a 2-1. In Mage Apprentice's eyes, I think this is a nerf for him. Definitely more killable at the 2-1 stage and can be blocked from its Awaken effect much more easily than when it was at 1-3. Troll Gunner, I think this is sort of a buff to it. Of course, we have Darkbender with the same stats and flying. Troll Gunner just has the extra gold buff. I mean, when you look at it, no one used Troll Gunner that much anyway. It wasn't being highly utilized like Mage Apprentice was. But, I mean, if you're still using it, or if you are using it, good for you. But again, there's not much interest, I think, in Troll Gunner. It might compete with Darkbender now, but then again, we'll have to see. It could be used over Darkbender because, you know, you might need that extra gold, but, you know, what are you going to really throw out with 1 extra gold? Mage Apprentice, again, I just kind of mentioned the same thing. Of course, 2-1, I think it's a nerf, much more easily killable, Awaken can be blocked easily, etc. Archer, changed to a 1-2 with 2 movement and 3 range. So now you're giving 3 range to Archer as well. 1-2, so easily killable by a lot of your AoE spells, with only 2 movement. That's what's intriguing. Archer was never really a threat at 3 movement and 3 health. Why change it to 2 movement is interesting. Are they predicting that a lot of players will go towards range decks, so that way they put down Archer now to sort of maybe limit the use of him? I'm not sure. The 1-2 is alright. The 3 range, also alright because only dealing 1 damage. I guess because they're worried about all the building damage, School of Magic, Temple of the 5 Gods, etc. So you kind of have to keep a hold on Archer with that 2 movement. So you're basically making him the opposite of Wizard. Whereas Wizard is more focused on attack power rather than health, Archer is more focused on health rather than attack. It's only a 1 difference between the two, but still. Dojo of Awakening, HP reduced to 2. This should surely stop. Put a slow halt. Not a halt, maybe, but a slow. I'm not sure. I can't find the word right now. It definitely should affect Awakened decks. Let's just leave it at that. It will affect Awakened decks, definitely. Because you have cards going around that always deal 2 damage, and, you know, the Dojo would always survive by 1. And, of course, still power up the Awakened units, and then the game will go probably to the Awakened deck, most likely. Being at 2 kind of puts it on the same level. We kind of saw this change with Dragon Temple. So now they're kind of evening out the buildings at 2 HP. I think Dojo is another one. Hall of Winds is probably the only building I can think of from the top of my head. Oh, no, there's the House of Ninja Rats. So House of Ninja Rats and Hall of Winds are and the School of Knowledge. So those 3 I think are the only ones that are not at a 2 health standing. I'm probably not gonna go check that. Probably not going to. Anyway, our final change of the night is going to be Merchant's Favor. Gold gain reduced to 1. Now this, of course, is going to hurt a lot of decks. And it's not like, you know, it's not the 1 card or the deck doesn't hurt. You're going to hurt Robins, you're going to hurt Greed decks, you're going to hurt anything that sort of relies on merchant's favors to build into an early advantage. Only gaining 1 gold is sort of like using an extra medallion. You know, you're not getting the same effect as if you get 2 gold. Whereas you get 4 gold from 2 merchant's favors, now you're getting 2 gold from 2 merchant's favors. So, definitely is a nerf to the card. And it's definitely going to be used probably a lot less than we've seen it. I know that over the past couple months, merchant's favors has been dominating. It's been one of the candidates to why the pirate faction as a whole has been used so much more. But yeah, this is definitely going to hurt not only merchant's favors but also the pirate faction and Robin. So definitely, you're not going to see a complete shift away from pirates. I'm going to be honest with you. They're still a great faction, but you're definitely going to be seeing less of merchant's favors and sort of like maybe finding an alternative to gaining gold. Maybe we can find one. Merchant's favors was the real big gold gainer, but now that that's been nerfed, not really sure where they're going to go from here. The greed decks, I mean, or any deck that sort of relies on merchant's favor. So anyway, that was the June update. I have a couple things to discuss here. I was browsing the Discord as of recently. I'm trying to pull up the conversations. Of course, Ventre was on here moments ago talking about how the ranking system should be a lot more interesting. So, he's mentioned here that... Where is it? Not that. Okay, here it is. We are now on a 2-month reset, so that's important. Now every rank is going to be reset every 2 months. So, quite interesting. It's going to give a lot of players time to build up to the 2,000 mark, especially since, in his words, it's predicted that the update, or not the update, the ranking system should be a lot more harder for players to get to 2,000 because you're being matched up with people on the same skill level. So having that is going to prove to be a challenge. You're going to be fighting people who are on that same level as you, who are going to be giving you a challenge, all through their collected data, which I think is still pretty much collecting. We've only been in about 4 days of this new algorithm, this new matchmaking system, so of course not everything will be done lickety-split right like that. So, also to take note, it is not served, but now there is a completely unique exclusive card you can earn by reaching rank 20. That's interesting. That is going to be some hard motivation for players to get to rank 20. An exclusive card that no one has seen yet. But yeah, geez, that's going to be interesting. That is going to be our goal, at least now. Not 3K anymore. Well, probably 3K. But 2K. And it's going to be some time. Let's be honest with you. I'm going to be honest with you guys. It's going to take time. We are only at 1,018. That is a hard reset. I was at 2,809 before the reset. Now I just got dropped to 1018. So definitely going to be a grind to get up to the 2,000 mark and hopefully find out what this exclusive card will be. And of course, he's saying that there will be a news post within the game that should illustrate more of what he said on the Discord. It's just not ready to go up yet. But anyway, that has been the June season update. If you guys did enjoy the video, please leave a like on this video, share it with your friends, and comment down below what you think of the new possible card, as well as the June balance patch. And of course, if you are new to the channel, please make sure to hit that subscribe button. It goes a long way to show support to the channel. And until next time, guys, stay gaming.